Thursday, July 12th, and it's Carrie and me in the brown bomber, and we are on our way to Crabtree Meadows and points beyond. We have no idea. We will determine that once we get up there. Weather is excellent, partly cloudy, cool. The valley was a hellhole.
Oh, man.
We got up here without any incident. It was smooth as silk. And as you can see, I get a little bit of cloud cover, which is good because it keeps things cool.
Right.
And then hopefully we'll get a spritz tonight or tomorrow when we start the trip.
Right.
There's a fire burning in the northern Central Valley near Colfax, and it's putting a little bit of smoke in the air, but it's not bad. It's nothing that we can't handle. And the further up we get, the clearer the air is going to get. So that'll be my...
You get a picture of that wood? It was $10 a pile.
Wow.
You know how much we're packing? $100 worth.
I'm going to shoot.
Yeah.
Half of that stuff you see back there is going to be burned tonight. Minus the packs.
Right.
All right, we're coming up on this mystery structure up here.
Right.
Every time we drive
down.
Oh my God, it's gone. Wait a minute. No, it's over here.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. No, it's gone.
It's gone.
They did.
They took it out. It used to be right there.
Right.
Right there is where it used to be.
Right.
Wow.
It's gone.
It's gone.
You're right.
I was right. They took it down.
Yeah. Hey, man. Oh, look at this canyon.
All right, the time is 6:44, and we are entering Crabtree, and hopefully our camp. We're seeing some cars here, but I'm not ready to give up the ghost yet.
Oh, man. Oh, fuck. That's what I was afraid of. Hey, we're just going to do what we got to do.
It's open. It's open. There's nobody there.
Oh, wow.
There's nobody there.
Oh, fucking A.
I can't believe it.
I don't know. We'll find out. It's up here.
It's right up here.
I know. Oh, there's a parking spot.
It's open. There's nobody at the fucking hook camp.
You're right.
All right. Oh, unbelievable! And look at the parking spot. Unbelievable. Back in.
All right.
Back in.
All right.
All right. Woo! There's our spot right there. There ain't no one here.
Oh, wow, man.
Time is 8 o'clock. We are at Crabtree Roadhead. And there's a lot of people here, but there is nobody camping here. Everybody's on the trail. And we are parked right there. Hook camp. We have a massive, massive wood supply to burn. Already had dinner. We're about to imbibe. I'm going to roll a joint. That's our trash pile.
$2 Chuck.
$2 Chuck.
Mandatory. Charles Shaw. Fine vintage, I must say.
Perfect place to do the final pack up on at a leisurely rate and painlessly in the morning. I'm sleeping right over here. Carrie's sleeping over there. And it's, per usual, good. And we are not getting bit by mosquitoes, and that's a very good sign because this is a meadow, and if they were out, we'd know it right now. There was a couple of them out a little earlier, and that's it. They're gone. It's 8 o'clock, and they're gone.
No, they will.
Well, here we are. And this is our junk that we're going to burn tonight. You are set. And,
yeah, but you just photograph all our shit. Get a shot of all this shit.
Oh, I will.
The preliminary shot. You want an orange?
Where's my bottle of wine?
I fucking like it.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought this was not finished. I thought oh, I didn't know that. Well, there. Hey,
Guy drank my wine.
well, shit. I thought you were going to dispose of it.
Having a rough time out here tonight. You know, I got my torpedo beer right here. Torpedo, Sierra Nevada, IPA. Not shabby. Nice, ice cold. Right there, baby. Torpedo. Well, here we are. Excellent fire.
Suffering as usual.
Suffering as usual, greatly. I'm drinking Torpedo, IPA, Sierra Nevada. Could be worse. Could be worse. We don't really need this fire. We're just doing it for ambiance.
Right.
Okay, the time is 10:19. Date is July 12th or 13th, 2012. We are headed up to, we are at Granite Creek Roadhead. It's about 69, 68 degrees, and we're headed up to Shallow Lake and points beyond to scout out the area that we saw a couple of years ago. Terry's packing up, doing his final thing, and I'm doing a little journal entry as usual. And we got hammered on Sierra Nevada Torpedo last night, and it was quite good. And I'm a little bit hungover this morning, but I'm just going to plod up the trail, and hopefully we'll get to where we want to go tonight. We have ambitions of going to Pingree, but I don't know if we'll make it that far tonight. Kerry said he'd carry my pack if I couldn't make it. We'd swap packs, because my pack is enormously heavy, as usual. So we're on our way, and it's a beautiful day. I just wish it would rain and be a little bit cooler. Weather's not bad. We've got a nice breeze going. It's a little smazy, but not nearly as bad as the last time we were up here a few years ago, when there were fires burning. You can see them over there. So there's no visible fires burning. We've got a good breeze. Unfortunately, we're just informed that Cherry Creek is not running, but there is a spring nearby that we can fill up at. So water is an issue. 6 o'clock, and we've gotten to the confluence of Cherry Creek. And that's as far as I can make it today. I'm just carrying too much weight to go much. If I could go a couple miles more, but it wouldn't be, it would have just wasted me for nothing. So we have water here, and we have actual pools over here that are big enough to bathe and swim in. So anyway, they're over here. I'll pick that up when I get over there. We had a low snow year, so everything's drying up early this year. But believe it or not, this is the Cherry Creek. It's still running. It's running down here to a large pool, which I'm going to go in tomorrow, because I have the day out. We're taking a layover day here to rest up. And this thing is big enough to swim in. And it's getting continuous inflow, so not that stagnant. It's probably at its deepest. This is the nicest part over here. It's probably 3 feet deep. I'd go in there and take a bath. There's some more pools down here. I'm going to walk back to the camp, which is up here. Take the high road. It'll give you an idea of how this canyon looks. It's kind of cool. Saturday, July 14th, it's about 10:30. We are at the confluence of the Cherry Creek, doing a layover before we head up to Shallow Lake on Sunday. And I'm just going to explore this whole little basin around here. It's kind of interesting, and I've never really spent any time here to do that. The only time we've been here have been flop camps, so we have a layover day here, and I'm just going to thoroughly range around here and see what I can find. It looks pretty interesting. So that's what I'm going to do with my day. And then there's a warm pool over there that hasn't gone stagnant yet, that's just drying up, so I'm going to take a bath over there later. So it should be a nice day. It's about 70 degrees out in the sun. There's a breeze blowing. Not a cloud in the sky, and very clear, no smoke in the air. So excellent day to go for a day hike. Just walked up through that notch which leads down into the canyon where we're camped, and over here this is pretty nice actually, is Paiute Lake. Nothing to write home about, but
makes me feel glad that I'm not dead.
here's Paiute Lake. And the trail is on the other side. I'm not going to go over the trail, really. It's a pretty nice little area. And I'm not getting bit by mosquitoes either. It's a pretty large campsite right here. Big flat area right there. Fire ring there. Wood supply. Near the Cherry Creek, away from the trail. Pretty cool. Yeah, we're roughing it out here. I'm blowing some Trader Joe's egg noodles. Terry's making a gnocchi. It's painful to live like this. We've got brandy for later and various other treats from the store. And a fire. So, not bad. Time is 8 o'clock, and we moved our living room, dining room, family room area for cooking and lounging around the fire up here. Gary's cooking.
I'm having extreme hardship.
Yeah, he just opened up a 16-ounce
Dutch-style Pilsner.
Wow. And he's cooking his usual
gnocchi,
and I'm making egg noodles with sun-dried tomatoes, shallots, garlic, porcini mushrooms. Not bad. We suffer out here, but you know, someone's got to do it. It's Sunday, July 15th. Time is 9:47. Temperature 70 degrees in the shade. It's pretty warm. We decided to change our main itinerary. Instead of going to Shallow Lake, which may be a mosquito hole, we've decided on base camping at Big Lake instead, which is a little closer, and we know the area, and we've wanted to check it out for a long time. Neither one of us has camped down there. We've only done a day hike there, so we want to go back down there and explore that area more thoroughly, so that's what we're doing today. Should be a relatively easy day. It's about 5 miles, and they're not hard miles. The hardest miles are behind us. These won't be too bad. So we're just going to amble on down there and find the nicest camp that we can and enjoy this trip and see as much of the area as we can. And I'm going to finish my coffee. Just doing a little final walkthrough of the camp before we leave, and then we're out of here. Put our fire out. We're going to put a lot more water on that so there's no smoke or steam coming off of it, and then we're out of here. Terrific pack, and here is my sleeping spot and my guardian to protect it from evil. The SRM. This is the canyon we're headed down to. Our tarn camp is just down the bottom there, probably about a quarter of a mile, maybe less. And that draw right over there where my finger is, you go up that, and it's gently, it's a gentle ascent right up that, and then you hit Pingree Lake. So we're almost at our lunch spot. There's Carrie. All right, we've just gotten to the tarn camp. There's the tarn. Very nice water, actually. And I'm going to walk into our old camp, which we haven't been in since 2007. And the main goal is to try to find, there it is, everything looks the same. There's our fire ring. We'll see if there's a 7 Rock Man up here. Guess what? There is a 7 Rock Man. Amazing. There he is. The 7 Rock Man. Intact. Fully intact. Okay, we just got to 2:55. We just got to the overlook of the canyon, and this is the last stage of the trip. Big lake. It's way down there. Right down there. Down this and angle down this granite until we get to Big Lake. That's it. Time is 5:32. That's Big Lake in the background right there. Beautiful lake. And this is the granite wash that comes down from Pingree Lake. And we have a very strategically, beautifully situated camp right here. Carrie's going to sleep over there. I'm sleeping right there. And we've got a really nice, very nice firewood supply, and a great little fireplace over here, which we are about to cook dinner on. Right there. Perfect. This is the Big Lake Riviera Beach, white sand beach, about 100 feet long. You can get a bunch of people out here and partying, and it's just a gentle sandy slope off, so you can go in and dive and swim around. It's very hospitable. Our camp's about a 3-minute walk from this white sand beach. And that was the little peninsula that I was just out at, where I was recording the lake. Pretty nice to have a white sand beach. Get the afternoon sun. I was laying down here the other day just listening to the water lapping against the shore. Yeah, pretty fucking nice. As far as I'll be going today. This is the other end of the lake, and I just don't feel like crawling over that. It's just not worth it. It's not all that attractive on the other side because it's just little steep gullies coming down to the water's edge. The more interesting part is the flatter part on this side, so I'm going to concentrate my focus on all that. The interesting perspective of the lake.
Very great hardship. Porcini noodles. With a slight bit of picante sauce and African pepper.
It's Monday, July 16th, 2012, and we're at our base camp at Big Lake. It is a stellar camp, one of the best that we've ever had. It's got everything you could ever want. Not one piece of wood we've tossed in this fire has smoked. We just pick it up off the ground. It's everywhere. And I'm going to finish up coffee here, and I'm going to head over to Camp Yellowhammer because it's probably active. And hopefully I can get a few interviews with some of the people that work there, see. And I'm just going to thoroughly scope this area out today, walk around the lake and just check it out because it is a really interesting area. We just heard a pack train going up the outlet to Pingree Lake, about 6 mules and a horse, 1 horse rider and a dog, probably the resupply for Camp Yellowhammer. But they went right up that granite chute. So that's what I'm doing today. All right, I just left camp and I'm starting my day hike over to Camp Yellowhammer, which is a working camp, and I'm going to, hopefully, if I'm not bothering the guys, be able to get some interviews, put them up on YouTube. It's about a mile or 2 from here. I think I'll stay out here. It's easier walking. I went up to our route up over to Pingree. It's really easy. It's like a little hobbit walk. You just have to carry the packs up. Now I'm going back up to the two tarns, which are above Pingree Lake, which I visited a few years ago. I want to check those out, and then I'm going to come back around the other way and go loop around past Camp Yellowhammer. And that'll be my big day. I just arrived at the two tarns. This is the lower one, which is perched right out at the edge of the canyon down here. And I'm headed in that direction there, down canyon to Lake Yellowhammer camp area. I might just go take a peek and see if there's anybody there. But right here is where I'm going in and bathing. I'm doing the cross country from the two tarns, and I'm coming out to kind of an overlook with a really cool looking tree. I'm trying to stay in the shade, but you can't always do that. There is the cabin of Camp Yellowhammer. To make my way around there and then get on that ramp. Then I'm going to go up that ramp. Then I'm taking the super highway, which is that thing way down. Just got to the magic ramp. It's going to be my fast pass down to, I'm just going to, damn, if you had a skateboard, there's guys that could skateboard down this, literally. I know guys that could do this. They would go nuts. Anyway, I'll point to the camp. Right there, where my tip is that. Actually, it's right there. Right there. It's Camp Yellowhammer. I'm taking the super high, which is over there. I like doing that. Think a lot. Don't want to fuck up. That's the thing. Cannot fuck up. No fuck ups. Rule number 1, no fuck ups. Rule number 2, refer to rule number 1. Okay, Camp Yellowhammer is right there. Okay, I just got to Camp Yellowhammer, and I'm going to walk in. just doesn't appear to be anyone here. Nope, there's no one here. Wow, the last time we came here, this was only partially completed. They put the siding up and they put the roof up. Yep, there's no stock grazing. It's empty. Oh, somebody was here recently though. There's some oats. There's the infamous shower. Let's see if there's any water in it. Because if there's water in this shower, that means they're probably out on a work crew. The water goes up there. Nope. Pretty cool. There it is. There's the sign. And graffiti all over the fucking thing. Judging from the freshness of the tracks and the horse shit here, I think a resupply party came in here this morning and stocked up the locked shed down there, the padlocks. That's where they keep all their food and all their supplies. I'm pretty sure that's what they were here for. There it is. All the graffiti. Everything appears to be in order. Oldest graffiti I found on here is Monique, summer of 1942, right up there. That's the oldest one I found. There might be a lot older ones. Here's 54, 51. Amazing. Okay, I'm looking for the oldest graffiti, and I found some here from 51 and 53, but the big one is Monique, summer of 42. Wow. Some 50s and some 40s. That's the oldest one I've seen right here. Monique. Summer of 42. Well, I'm back at Camp Yellowhammer, and interestingly enough, a horse packer just left here. There's fresh oats over the ground over there, and some fresh horse shit that leads right out of here. So they were probably here this morning. So I don't know if they're out on it doesn't look like there's anybody occupying the camp right now, because otherwise I've seen more stuff hanging around. So I don't think that they're actually working here right now, but it is kind of cool. Since we were here last 4 or 5 years ago, they completed one of the buildings in the back. It was only partially complete. The last time we were here, they had the frame up, but they didn't have the roofing and the siding up. So I'm just going to hang out here, probably have lunch here, and just scope the area out really thoroughly, because the last time we were here, we did a very long day hike from our camp, about 4 miles from here. And my camp now is literally a half an hour walk from here, so I can play out here all day. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to have a cigar. Just enjoying a day home. You know, it's pretty remote out here. When you think of this place being here, it's pretty unusual to see something like this, especially so old, in the 20s. And it's been a continually operating work camp since then. So I'm just going to really enjoy myself here today and look around and see if I can find any interesting archaeology around here. I'm sure there's some interesting little things on the ground. So I'm just going to look around and see if I can find some interesting people. You know. This is the main supply cabin because they keep it padlocked. Property of the United States. Of course, that means you and me. I like this little thing right here. That's cool. That's way old. Obviously pulled by horses or mules. I always like this, walking in here. There's Old Glory. Wow. I could spend the summer here. It's stir crazy a little bit, but at least a month. I could do a month around here. Particularly if I had stock and I was bringing in steak. That would be some beer. It's an interesting piece of archaeology. It's a very, very old knife. Rusted. Been here a long time. Very heavy. I noticed that there was some Boy Scout troops graffiti on the tin. This would be an unbelievably cool place to be on a Boy Scout outing. I can just imagine being a 12-year-old or 13-year-old coming out and seeing this. This would just be, that'd be in hog heaven. And you can see around the bend here that at one time they had electrical power in this place. Right there. At the top. Insulators. So this cabin had power at one time. Well, I'm just sitting here after 5 years of not having seen the place, enjoying a lunch at Trader Joe's smoked sardines and some dry fruits and some Asiago cheese. And it's great to be back. It's a unique place, interesting place to have lunch. I could live here at least a few months out of the year. This wouldn't be too shabby, to be honest with you. The only big problem is water. But it sure is a pastoral place. Fireplace, just a kitchen. Okay, I'm a little ways away from Camp Yellowhammer, and I found, interestingly enough, I found the dump. And this dump could go way back. Here it is. I'm seeing some pretty old stuff already. Old 7-Up. Whiskey. There's a shoe. Wow, that is an old shoe. It's got, wow, I don't know what that is. There's a lot of stuff in here. I bet it goes down a ways. Here is the dump. This dump goes down a ways. You can see impacted, rusting steel cans almost a foot down from the top. So they have been burying stuff here for a long time. I'll bet there's some really interesting things deep down in here, bottle-wise, if they aren't broken. This is one of the identifiable pieces I found here. Can kill, dead bug killer. Here's a very 60s Vel liquid detergent. Fascinating. I was wondering where they kept their dumps. This is an absolutely serendipitous discovery. If I came back here with a small pickaxe, I'm sure I could find some decent bottles in here. You'd have to be very careful, though, as you were digging stuff out, not to break them. I'm going to continue down here. This dump goes a ways. I'm still seeing bottles and things down here. This is some old pot that rusted through. More down here. I don't know what that is. Bottle. I think that's pretty much the extent of the dump, it appears. Although, here's some more stuff down here. Aluminum cans. Okay, I've left Camp Yellowhammer, and I'm now walking around Yellowhammer. Not all the way around it, but I'm going to pretty much do half of it, at the very least. Nothing really spectacular on that side that I can see, but you never know. Sometimes you find these old magical camps. Alright, I just arrived at Yellowhammer Lake, and it's pretty. Kind of nice. This is pretty much the full extent of Yellowhammer Lake. It's pretty nice, I gotta say. It's better than I thought it would be. And there is no one here. There it is. And I'm going to take a bath. I don't know where, but somewhere. There's the full extent of Yellowhammer Lake. And it kind of gets a little bit murky down here. Water gets a little browner. Very wide open. You don't see that on the top of. It's a narrow lake, but it does have some really nice campsites around it, but I think it's overused because most of the campsites that I've seen were completely devoid of firewood. This is classic. Right in front of me, leading towards I know not what. There's the white line of truth. This is an excessive example of a camp setup. It's kind of ridiculous, but yeah, it's legal. It's over 100 feet from the shore. But it's a big fishing camp, obviously. Here's an old fisherman's camp. Nice setting. Here's another fishing camp. Nice little seat there. Pretty big. Looks like they take stock up here. This area is overused, unfortunately. It's beautiful and it's remote. Here I'm documenting the camps that I see at Yellowhammer Lake. I'm at Yellowhammer Lake now. That's one. This is an outlet of Yellowhammer Lake, and it feeds just down a few feet to this absolutely beautiful, beautiful lower tarn. It's just surrounded by white granite, and you can swim in it. It's deep enough to swim in, and it's pretty spectacular. I'm probably overdoing it on this, but this has got to be one of the more unique settings I've seen out here. I just found an excellent possibility for a campsite fairly close to the water here. And this is just, it's really well hidden, and there's an abundance of firewood all over the place. And this would make a great campsite. There's no ring here, but right in here somewhere, you could even have your fire over here. Separate room. Very, very remote. No, but you never see anybody up here. There's the cave I was told about. They call it the Giant's Cave of Yellowhammer Lake. You can't really tell how big it is. So I'm going to stop this shot and I'm going to zoom in because I can't zoom while I'm shooting. There's a better shot of it. You can see the opening's very large. I've reached the lair of the red giant. Well, this isn't anything but a smelly bat cave that goes back about 25 feet. I'm not even going to bother climbing up there. It's not worth it. It stinks too. I already smell it down here. So there's the lair. Not a bad location for a lair of anything. I'm walking over to Camp Yellowhammer from a different route than I normally do. I'm coming at it from the end of the lake here. This is Yellowhammer Lake. This is the very end of it. It looks to me like it's an inlet. Actually, no, it isn't. But these are the pools that are right at the northeastern or eastern end of Yellowhammer Lake. Kind of cool rock formations. Anyway, I'm going to pick up down here somewhere. I haven't been this way before. Is Camp Yellowhammer. So I know I'm getting close to it because I'm seeing sign of mules. Oh, there it is. Wow. Another one of my infamous walking videos here, but this is a really good way to get perspective of the countryside. Excuse the jerky camera motion. I'm walking through a meadow, so I'm trying to compensate for my jerky movements here. Wow, that's cool. Wonder if there's anybody here. No, the stock gate's open, so there's nobody here. I couldn't resist leaving something here with all these other people. Oh, found a piece of rusted tin. There it is. This is my final walk through the camp. It's been 5 years since I've been here the last time. There's a nice little campfire area where they sit around at night. And this is it. I'm leaving. I'm going to go over to Yellowhammer Lake and spend some more time there. Goodbye, Yellowhammer. Don't know when I'll see you again. Hopefully not too long. Did my day hike today. I went down that way and then up the notch and then up to the top up there and up there where that little tree is up on that. That's what I did in my day hike. And then outside to Camp Yellowhammer and Yellowhammer Lake. Over there, that notch over there. It was an outstanding day hike.
I stay over here. Here we are in the lounge.
Yes, this is the lounge. About 5 or 6 people can comfortably sit on this thing. It's a perfect backrest, smooth as can be. Yeah. Truly amazing. Lunar. Moonscape.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Egg noodles, and the usual porcini mushrooms, garlic and shallots, and oil-soaked sun-dried tomatoes, sautéed in olive oil, to be added tomato paste. That's our bedrooms over there. Lake is right down over here. Pretty cool. Wednesday, July 17th, 2012, 9:45, and this is our last layover day here at the spectacular Big Lake Base Camp that we built and we'll definitely return to. And I'm going to go climb a little peak across the lake and pay one last visit over to Yellowhammer just to make sure that nobody's there, because they were being restocked by a pack train the other day, so that means that somebody is imminently coming there to do some work. So I would love to be able to just fortuitously come across one of the crews and just maybe do some interviews, but that's unlikely, but I will probably just try it anyway. And that is my journal entry for the day. I'm going to finish my coffee. Climb that peak that's opposite. We call this the Cherry, this big boulder. And down here is Big Lake. Sure enough, is beautiful. There's nobody out here. We're the only people around here. There's a series of stepped pools that go down here, and I'm going to cross up and go down that way. Our camp is over there, about a mile. This is a rather nice little bathing spot. I think I shall go in. It's running downhill, so that looks like a nice little granite beach over there with some nice backdrop, and there's a great little place to go in and get wet right there. Wow, very nice. Yeah. It's enough to get wet. So that's still running. This is drainage coming down from Yellowhammer. These are tarns just below Yellowhammer, and that is running. This is an interesting perspective of Big Lake, because I'm shooting on the south and western side of the lake. People usually are over that side, which is the north and eastern side of the lake. Our camp is down there. my bathing spot here at Big Lake. It's the opposite side of the lake where our camp is, and you can see that it is just pristine here. You can go out and just sit down in there, and it's warm. It's just beautiful. It's not deep enough to swim in, but if I want to swim, I'll just go out there and swim. But that's about 4 feet deep right there. I'm going to go take a bath. I like to stay clean when I'm out here. Here, I'll tell you, it's really rough out here. I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I survive. It's roughing it in the wilderness. It's brutal. Brutal. You have no idea. It's just brutal. This is the Big Lake Riviera right here. This beach. This is really nice. You can go out into that water and swim out there and then walk out in sand instead of mud. So this is as close as you're going to get to the Riviera here. Sure is nice, isn't it? I could just sit here and watch this all day long. Walking towards our camp. This is the packer camp that we found earlier. Date is Thursday, July 19th, 2012, and I'm not sitting in the rain doing my usual face-on. So we're leaving. It's raining, and it's our last day here anyway, so we're on schedule to leave. And it's fitting that we do leave in the rain, and it'll keep the dust down and keeps it cool. And one last pan of the camp. There's Carrie. We're having coffee. We managed to get a fire going this morning. And I'm going to walk through the camp just to make sure that I didn't forget anything, because I had to move last night.
Good idea.
This is where I was sleeping, over here, underneath this beautiful, beautiful view.
Because we unpacked in the dark.
We unpacked in the dark. Oh, here's my sleeping spot. And one of the better SRMs that I've made. This one is actually seems to have facial features if you look at them carefully. It's pretty cool. Seven Rock Man. Ah, pair of sunglasses. Look at that. That would have been, that's 120 pair of sunglasses right there. That would have been really nasty.
See what I mean, Ken?
Yep. Okay, we are about to leave camp. It is raining.
So there's the rain up there.
That's where we're going to walk up to that ridge, up there. No big deal. This is a fabulous camp. I'm going to miss it. We'll be back. And that's the way it goes. Fire is out. We don't have to worry about it. The rain will do the rest. It's 11 o'clock, and we just got to Pingree Lake. It was an easy up and out. We basically caught the trail exactly where the trail begins, so couldn't have been any easier. And Jones and I camped here about 15 years ago, or more, possibly 20 years ago. And it's still raining. I'm standing underneath a tree, but it is still raining. It's been raining steady for the last hour. So we're just going to plod along and rest, take it easy. We're making excellent time. In a certain way, it's even easier than hiking in the heat. It's Friday, July 20th, and we are about ready to head down to the truck. This is our final day on trail, and we've had a spectacular trip, wonderful trip. Big Lake was one of the best places I've ever visited out here, and we're going back again next year. It's worthwhile, even though it's a little difficult to get to. The solitude and the beauty, and Camp Yellowhammer, which is just fascinating. Once you go there, it's just kind of spooky. It gets into your blood. You want to go back. So it's about 75 degrees. I hear all hell's breaking loose back in civilization. Unfortunately, I have to participate in that hell. But this is a great 7 days, and we'll be back. We're about ready to leave our little flop camp here and head back to the truck. And there is the fire is dead out. And here is, I'm going to not leave that in there. That's no good. That comes out with me. And of course, it goes without saying, protecting my spot against all things evil. Well, here we are at Crabtree Roadhead. We just got back from a highly successful and marvelous trip to Big Lake and areas surrounding it. And no sojourn to the Sierra Nevada would be complete without a Sierra Nevada. In this case, a Sierra Nevada torpedo. Oh my God. After 7 days up there, this tastes really